asking for a time off. Tips to help you get that approved, and rarely, I don't know how it is at different firms, but the firms that I've worked at, like rarely am I ever told no, but keys to do that, which I think go along with informing rather than asking, are the earlier you can communicate, the better. And this is something that applies across the board in terms of like, oh, I messed up. I was asked to do a task and I realized, oh, I didn't do it the right way. It is so much better to speak up earlier and wave your hand and say, hey, I need help. Like, I misstepped. Like, can you please help me? Bosses will respect that you own it, that you take responsibility, versus if you just sit there quietly and kind of hope that it goes away, which is also easy to do. We're all humans. We're tempted to do that. But I think if you communicate early and if you don't have to explain the reason, but if you also, kind of like Jenny was saying, you present a plan. Hey, I would like to take this day off. I know that I have a report due this week. I'm going to make sure that it's wrapped up. I might miss this meeting, so I'm going to touch base with so-and-so, my coworker, to make sure that I get meeting minutes and I'm caught up on what the discussion, was that I didn't attend. So that was just one way that, really jumped out at me whenever I watched the video, like, oh, I remember that I used to be worried about that. Whereas now, like, it comes a little bit easier.
And I'll add some to that. I think like for things like if you're asking for time off or something, give some amount of detail, like for how long are you going to be off? Like, is it just going to be a day? Do you just have a doctor's appointment and you're only going to miss an hour? Make sure you give them those details. Another thing is like if you're asking for like a sick day and like you don't feel like you have to provide a reason. Oh, I have food poisoning. I can't get off the toilet. Don't feel like you have to do that. Don't feel like you have to justify why you're taking the time off. You can do that. I've had bosses who are extremely understanding, and they wouldn't bat an eyelash if I said I had food poisoning. But don't feel like you need to do that. I have had bosses where like if you feel like you need to let them know just because maybe something serious is going on with like family member, you can ask them to not say anything to others as well. You are fully within your right to do that. So if you want to keep things between you and your boss, all you have to do is tell them, inform them that you do not want to, do not ask.